watching Arise, the world's standout news channel. Arise News, awards, and beyond.
A strategy for industrial development leveraging on special economic zones. The AFCFTA and Afrexim Bank's Africa Trade Gateway. The Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. The automotive sector strategy, as well as other initiatives that are aimed at capacity building for industrial development. We must, however, looking forward, set a number of priorities. Allow me 1 or 2 moments to explain and set out those priorities. First, our national governments must facilitate decentralization and alignment of national policies with comparative advantages of the sub-sovereigns. As we engage and advance our strategy for industrial development, we must critically assess the important role that is played by sub-sovereigns. Second, our sub-sovereign governments must take full ownership and actively participate in this platform, leveraging on the levers that I mentioned, such as special economic zones, industrial development strategies, and of course, the facility that was announced today. Third, development partners, our development finance institutions, should continue to provide the necessary support at sub-sovereign level, particularly in areas such as infrastructure development and other trade supporting measures. As the AFCFTA, we have taken moderate steps to ensure that we contribute to this important objective. On Friday, I'm happy to announce that the AFCFTA Secretariat and Oyo State will, in Nigeria, will officially launch the AFCFTA strategy for implementation for the benefit of Oyo State and the people of that state. We believe that an initiative of this nature, where sub-nationals establish firmly themselves in the ecosystem of the AFCFTA, that we will be contributing to accelerated development, accelerated implementation of the AFCFTA, and job creation. In addition, we further facilitate the role of sub-sovereigns by identifying development industrial parks, special economic zones, quality assurance centers. All of these are critical pillars of a well-designed AFCFTA implementation strategy. Across the length and breadth of our continent, special economic zones contribute quite significantly to Africa's manufacturing capacity. The percentage of manufactured goods that Africa trades in is not insignificant. And this percentage of manufactured goods happens in our special economic zones. Therefore, our special economic zones, which are hosted by sub-sovereigns, supported by sub-sovereigns, are critical drivers and contributors to Africa's industrial development. We have further supported sub-sovereigns by developing trade rules that will enable goods and services that are produced in special economic zones at sub-sovereign level to be integrated in the overall market of the AFCFTA. You will recall that there was an anomaly. I'm happy that this anomaly has been corrected. And the anomaly was that in Africa, we were quite happy to receive special economic zones, goods produced in special economic zones in third countries, and receive these goods at preferential rates, displacing our own domestic markets. We have now corrected this anomaly. The Assembly of Heads of States and Government of the African Union adopted a regulation which places special economic zones at the center of Africa's industrial development by directing that all goods that are produced in special economic zones henceforth shall enjoy full preferences and benefits of the AFCFTA. We have, I believe, in a very short space of time, we shall see the results of this important step that our heads of states have taken. We shall see the results of this in Benin, in Togo, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Tangier, Morocco, in Egypt, and in all other special economic zones where productive capacity, where governments have invested in productive capacity with Afreximbank and other domestic or regional stakeholders. We therefore very much look forward to working with this platform to ensure that together we position sub-sovereigns to benefit from the AFCFTA market. The trade finance facility that was announced today, I believe, will go a long way in enabling our sub-sovereigns to take full advantage of the AFCFTA, to create jobs, to spur on innovation, and to ensure that there is competitiveness even at subnational level. Lastly, finally, let me conclude by once again recommitting the African Union as well as the AFCFTA Secretariat to this important endeavor. And we look forward to the collaboration. We fully support this initiative, and I very much look forward to the discussions. Once again, congratulations, and thank you very much.
Once again, a round of applause for the uplifting remarks of the Secretary General of the AFCFTA for their commitment to promote such sub-sovereigns in their quest to promote sustainable development and feed into the objective of the AFCFTA. It is particularly appropriate that we celebrate this remarkable milestone, a commitment of $2 billion to support sub-sovereign governments with the aim of helping mobilize private sector investment, which will anchor long-term partnerships between our sub-sovereigns and, ladies and gentlemen, continental institutions. This certainly lends itself to the theme we're reflecting on: local power, global impact, strengthening Africa's sub-sovereign government for sustainable development. Who else to deliver the keynote than our very own legacy-minded President and Chair of the Board of Afrexim? Ladies and gentlemen, yours and mine, His Excellency, Professor Benedict Orama.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jerry. It looks like there's another meeting at the back there. I think the ushers should please make sure that if people are having another discussion, maybe they should go out of the hall to have the discussion. Excellency and dear brother Makele Mene, the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat and our partner in many spheres. Excellencies, governors, premiers, and their representatives gathered here. Excellencies, ambassadors, honorable ministers, my colleagues, executives of Afreximbank who are here, and my other colleagues, captains of industry, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense pleasure that I welcome you to the 5th edition of the African Sovereign Government Network investment dialogue. Our heartfelt gratitude goes to His Excellency, President Abdelmajid Tebboune, for his exemplary leadership and unwavering commitment to this and other events associated with the Intra-African Trade Fair 2025. I must again thank His Excellency for the excellent hospitality extended to our dignitaries since our arrival here in Algiers. I would also like to extend my warmest wishes to our distinguished governors, premiers, mayors, industry leaders, representatives from financial institutions, and all our esteemed guests present from all over Africa and the diaspora for joining us here today. Your participation here sends a powerful message, which is that local leadership is fundamental to Africa's transformation. Your Excellencies, Africa has seen encouraging economic performance in recent years, with per capita income rising from about $1,900 in 2016 to $2,500 in 2024. In many regions of the continent, there has been a significant reduction in poverty levels. However, two separate reports from 2022 by the World Bank and Oxfam respectively indicate that the benefits of unprecedented economic growth have gone to a tiny few, increasing the gap between the richest and the poorest. The report further noted, and I quote, that while a small but growing group benefits and becomes fantastically wealthy, the majority of citizens are denied the essential elements of dignified life, such as access to quality education, healthcare, and jobs, unquote. The contrasting economic experiences of African countries, both amongst themselves and within individual nations, are highlighted in a recent book titled Left Behind: New Economics for Neglected Places, written by a British economist, Paul Collier. In discussing this disparity, Collier stated, and I quote, "Zambia was once richer than its rival copper exporter, Chile. Now the average income of Zambians is less than a tenth of Chileans. Not only has Zambia become a left-behind country, but within it, there are regions exemplified by its copper belt that have been more extremely affected, lagging behind the more prosperous capital city, Lusaka. The copper belt is a left-behind region in a left-behind country," unquote. The differing economic circumstances of the Zambian copper belt and the capital city, Lusaka, reflect a broader trend seen in many countries across Africa. Bridging the development gap within countries will require significant changes in policy and strategy. In recent years, through this platform, the AFSNet platform, we have emphasized the need to rethink the predominantly centralized development planning prevalent across the continent, advocating for a shift in focus from the center to the periphery. We believe that for most of our countries, that development will come from the periphery and not the center. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, it is fortunate that we have gathered in a country that embodies the principles of decentralized economic planning. Since the 1980s, the Algerian government has steadily moved away from centralized planning. This shift is reflected in Algeria's low inequality index measured by Gini coefficient, which is the lowest in Africa, ranking it among the top 10 countries on the continent with the least wealth disparity. Although regional disparities in economic outcomes still exist, the gaps in Algeria are narrower than those found in many other African nations. Besides the lessons to be learned from Algeria's development model, the country boasts significant economic power in terms of the scale and depth of its infrastructure and industrial development. From its extensive Mediterranean port network to its burgeoning renewable energy and manufacturing sectors. These important assets can be leveraged to foster strong regional and continental trade and investment collaborations. It is thus refreshing that the Algerian government has invited all of you to this event. We thank them for doing so. I therefore implore all the sub-sovereign governments in this room to take advantage of this opportunity and share your development aspirations and projects, forging lasting connections that bring about development in your states, regions, or provinces. Algeria represents an enormous opportunity for sub-sovereign cooperation, and we think you should seize it. With the rich natural resources, rapidly expanding renewable energy sector, modernizing industrial base, and strategic location at the heart of the Maghreb, Algeria is uniquely placed to be a continental trade hub under the AFCFTA. Imagine the synergies of Algerian ports becoming gateways not only to North African trade, but also to goods from West, Central, and Southern Africa, reaching Mediterranean and European markets. Such opportunities are exactly what AFSNet is designed to unlock. When Afreximbank launched AFSNet in 2021, our vision was clear: to amplify the voices of sub-sovereign governments in shaping economic policy, unlocking investment opportunities, and accelerating trade across Africa. We firmly believe that development must be decentralized, originating where the needs are most pronounced in our cities, provinces, counties, states, regions, and cascades outwards to influence national and continental progress. Over the past 4 editions, from Durban in South Africa to Abuja in Nigeria, Cairo in Egypt, and Kisumu in Kenya, AFSNet has transformed from a concept into a dynamic continental movement. It has become a powerful network, fostering cross-border partnerships among neighboring regions, and even regions that are far apart, enabling sub-sovereigns to access vital resources such as financing, educational exchanges, investment readiness support, and critical market intelligence. Moreover, it serves as a bridge connecting local leaders directly with investors, development partners, and trade opportunities. To ensure that we convert these opportunities into tangible economic gains for our states and sub-sovereigns, we committed $2 billion to support AFSNet sub-sovereigns with trade and investment financing. And I thank our dear brother, Governor of Cross River State, for signing with us that document we signed this morning, not only for Cross River State to host the next meeting, but also cementing these $2 billion that is available to support trade and investment amongst AFSNet member states. We have ensured that this support is flexible enough to meet diverse needs. Whether that means funding industrial parks and special economic zones, as we've done in Ogun State, Nigeria, and are doing in other states, so in East Africa and parts of Nigeria, supporting deep seaport development in Cross River State, Nigeria, or helping prepare major projects like the Nyanza Light Metals Initiative in KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa for bankability, which then made it possible for that project to attract over $400 million in investment, which Afrexim Bank also supported. Finally, impactful is what we achieved in Kisumu, Kenya, during last year's conference with the Med Aditus Pharmaceuticals project. We supported feasibility and bankability studies for a $40 million manufacturing plant, Africa's first blockchain-enabled continuous manufacturing facility for essential medicines. It is projected to produce approximately 2 billion tablets and capsules annually, thereby improving access to affordable, high-quality medicines across the Great Lakes region of East Africa. We have invested in industrial parks and special economic zones as hubs for value addition and job creation. Through our Africa Quality Assurance Centers, we are addressing one of the most persistent barriers to African exports, the lack of international accredited testing and certification centers. Our efforts extend beyond finance. We are deeply committed to fostering knowledge exchange and as a vital component of our mission. Through targeted investment climate diagnostics, capacity building initiatives for investment promotion agencies, and the creation of platforms that connect project sponsors with global investors, we are empowering sub-sovereigns to enhance their competitiveness and attract high-quality investments. In July of this year, Afreximbank, in partnership with the Forum of State Investment Promotion Agencies of Nigeria, organized an investment promotion training workshop in Abuja. This training workshop, which was held on the sidelines of the bank's annual meeting, successfully trained over 60 delegates from state governments, regional governments, and others, equipping them with essential skills in project structuring, public-private partnership frameworks, and effective investor engagement. Additionally, a comprehensive investment promotion training session was held for both national and state investment promotion agencies on the sidelines of the Iatf Investment Conference in Kisumu, Kenya, on November 25, 2025. This impactful training facilitated by Tractus Asia in collaboration with the International Center for Training and Development in Miami welcomed 210 delegates. Participants immersed themselves in a range of topics, including project preparation, with sessions conducted by the Project Preparation Unit of Afreximbank. These initiatives have been pivotal in bolstering our dedication to enhancing investment readiness at all levels, paving the way for sustainable growth and development across regions. As I conclude my remarks, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the governors, mayors, premiers, and regional leaders present here today. Your unwavering commitment to this network transcends regional ambitions. It fortifies a collective vision for a prosperous and integrated continent of Africa. Here in Algiers, we are witnessing the power of collaboration in action, partnerships formed, opportunities unlocked, and momentum built for a brighter future. I eagerly anticipate working alongside you to ensure that these gains become more enduring and bring more benefits for our communities. I hope that when we gather here in Calabar next year, we will celebrate even more successes, more achievements, more projects we have collectively done and delivered. Looking ahead, I emphasize a core principle that inspired AFSNet. Africa's transformation will be driven as much from the local level as from the national or continental levels. When sub-sovereigns are empowered with access to finance, connections to markets, and essential tools to compete, they become engines of prosperity that uplift the entire continent. I thank you all for your kind attention.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen. For a man whose work speaks far more than any other thing we can say, we can only say thank you. A grateful continent says, God bless you richly, Professor Benedict Orama, outgoing President and Chair of the Board of Afreximbank. Please, one more time.